Now we go to PMQT, Prime Minister's question time. Honourable members, the table has been advised that PQB 1126 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Yes? And I now therefore call on Honourable Third Member for Beaubassin-Petite-Rivière, Mr. Quirin.
B1108, please.
Madam Speaker, the previous MSM government did everything, and I mean everything, to undermine the horse racing industry and to weaken the MTC. All that was done on purpose to favor private shady interests, and it was in this context that COIREC was set up to fulfill their ambitions. During the election campaign, we had vowed to restore public trust in Mauritius' historic horse racing industry, which has been part of the island's culture for the last 200 years. As initiated in our government program 2025-2029, this government has successfully restored public confidence in the horse racing industry, as witnessed from the first racing day held on the 26th of July 2025 at the Champ de Mars, and also at the recent one, the Maiden Cup. Under the previous government, the horse racing industry was being driven towards its demise. That was the purpose of what they tried to do. With regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by COIREC that the board currently comprises the following official members. Acting Chairperson, Mr. Anne Charal, who is the Financial Secretary. Directors, Mr. Bungali, Assistant Solicitor General. Mr. Mohabir, Deputy Chief Executive of the Economic Development Board. Mr. A.K. Sitaram, Director of Tourism, Ministry of Tourism. And Ms. Sharon Yong-Tik-Kao, Assistant Permanent Secretary at Prime Minister's Office. The monthly fees payable to the chairperson and directors are 42,000 rupees and 15,750 rupees, respectively. Regarding Part B of the question, I'm informed that following amendments to Section 29 of the States Land Act in the Finance Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 2022, COIREC was, as from May 2022, entrusted with the control and maintenance of the state land at Champ de Mars. Accordingly, on 1st of July 2025, a lease agreement was signed between the MTC Jockey Club and COIREC for a period of 10 years, that is up to 2034. Of course, the MTC then had to oblige because this was the plan. Under this lease agreement, the responsibility for the management, maintenance, and upgrading of racetracks falls under the responsibility of the MTC Jockey Club Limited throughout the lease period, which, as I said, I think ends in 2035. As regards Part C and D of the question, I'm informed that a rental fee of 250,000 rupees per race meeting, excluding VAT, is payable by the MTC Jockey Club to COIREC. Provisions have been made in the lease agreement for a yearly increase of 5% in the fee payable. MTC Jockey Club Limited has the right to commercially exploit the Champ de Mars, including the collection of rentals and any other income derived thereof, subject, of course, to the consent of the lessor. Madam Speaker, in July 2025, amendments were brought inter alia to Section 31 and 32 of the Gambling Regulatory Amendment Act, and provision was made for any statutory body or government-owned company to take control and maintenance of the Champ de Mars. Accordingly, COIREC is being wound up. All its activities and assets and liabilities and obligations are being transferred to a specific entity operating under Land Scope Mauritius with clearly defined governance structure. During this transitional period, the board is overseeing ongoing operations, ensuring compliance with all the statutory obligations, and approving all matters necessary to facilitate an orderly winding down and closure of the company.
Yes, all right. Honourable Third Member for Vieux-Grand-Port-Rospel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQB 1109, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed that the old Grand Grand Port Civil Status Office was opened in December 1984 and was operational twice weekly, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because of the low frequency of members of the public requiring civil status services. The old Grand Port Civil Status Office was closed in July 2013. Since then, the residents of Grand Sable, Old Grand Port, Bambou-Virieux, and surrounding areas were availing of the civil status services at the Mayberg, Rosebel, Plaine-Magnan, and Bel-Air Rivière-Sèche. The Mayberg Civil Status Office is the closest alternative office, easily accessible to the inhabitants of Grand Port, and is fully operational for 5 days a week. However, Madam Speaker, I'm further informed that the renovation works for the old Grand Port Civil Status Office is being done and will be completed by next month. The recruitment exercise to fill vacancies for 13 civil status officers is ongoing. Thereafter, the old Grand Port Civil Status Office will be reopened, hopefully by March 2026.
Yes, Mr. Ramdass, you're all right? Yes, the Honourable Second Member for Rodrigues, Mr. François.
Yes, thank you. B1110.
Madam Speaker, let me first inform the House that the sub-office of the Financial Crimes Commission in Rodrigues has now moved from Camp du Roi to Rue de la Solidarité in Port-Maturin. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that the sub-office is manned by 2 investigators and 1 woman police officer. In addition, the operations of the sub-office under the supervision of 1 chief investigator from the Financial Crimes Commission based in Mauritius. In relation to Part B of the question, I'm informed that the sub-office is equipped with all the necessary facilities for its operations, and arrangements are also made for officers of the Financial Crimes Commission based in Mauritius to proceed to Rodrigues for interrogation of suspects in high-profile cases as and when required. As regards to Part C of the question, 52 cases have been registered at the sub-office in Rodrigues during the period March 2024 to date. Out of these, 32 cases have been completed and 20 are still under investigation.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Yes, the Honourable Second Member for Grand Bipou-Bredon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B1111.
Madam Speaker, as per the information gathered, Mr. Ravi Yerigadu, Barrister at Law, provided legal services for the following public institutions and has received fees as stated below. 10.9 million rupees from the SBM Group for a period 2017 to 2024. 10.7 million from the SIC Group for the period 2017 to 2024. 4 million from the GRA for the period 2019 to 2024. 2.4 million rupees from the Mobank Group for the period 2017 to 2025. 1.1 million rupees from the Bank of Mauritius in June 2022. 920,000 rupees from ICTA for the period 2022 to 2024. 637,850 rupees from Airports of Mauritius Company Limited in 2022 and 2024. 603,750 rupees from the Mauritius Police Force.
Honourable Minister, please.
During the tenure of the former Commissioner of Police for the period of 2023 to 2024. 393,300 rupees from the Mauritius Duty Free Paradise Company Limited in 2023 and 2024. 320,000 rupees from the S Investment Support Program Limited. 204,960 rupees from the Mauritius Shipping Corporation Limited for the period of 2018 to 2019. And 39,200 rupees from the Mauritius Society of Authors during the period 2019 to 2020. Madam Speaker, Mr. Yerigadu, another blue-eyed boy of the previous regime, who enjoyed, Honourable Juval asked me a question about advisors. Look how much money was given at the time, when he enjoyed extreme largesse, as he was providing legal services to not less than 12 government entities from 2017 to 2025. He has, during that period, received fees, Madam Speaker, totaling 32.2 million rupees from various institutions. That is the scandal. I wish you had asked the question then. In view of some disturbing facts that have emerged from the circumstances under which the services of Mr. Yerigadu has been enlisted as legal advisor and the quantum of fees paid, an inquiry will be initiated.
Yes. All right. The Honourable third member for Gobert-Saint-Petit-Rivière, Mr. Quirin.
B1112.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with the Value Added Tax Act, small businesses and entrepreneurs whose turnover are between 3 million and 6 million rupees are required to file the first VAT return on or before 31st of January 2026 in respect to the period 1st of October 2025 to 31st of December 2025. A small business entrepreneur submitting the VAT return after the 31st of January 2026 will be liable to pay penalty for non-submission of VAT return and no payment of VAT. Madam Speaker, there is no amnesty provided on tax due by taxpayers. However, small businesses and entrepreneurs will be given a 1-month extension of time, that is up to the 28th of February 2026, to submit the return and pay the VAT without being liable to penalty or fees. Following the announcement in June 2025 in the budget speech 2025-2026 to reduce the VAT registration threshold from 6 million to 3 million rupees, MRA has taken a series of measures to assist small businesses and entrepreneurs to properly prepare and file the VAT return. Namely, a communique was issued on the 12th of September 2025 requesting persons required to be registered and who need assistance to phone on the MRA hotline or to use the MRA e-appointment facility. B, dedicated customer service desks for the SMEs requiring assistance have been put in place at the MRA head office. C, simplified VAT registration system have been put in place. D, a guide on simplified VAT registration is published on the MRA website. E, a guide on simplified record keeping has also been prepared by the MRA. And F, the MRA has invited the newly VAT registered persons to attend dedicated education sessions. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Revenue Authority that at 27th of November 2025, a total of 6,518 VAT registration applications have already been received by the MRA compared to the estimated number 6,900 new taxpayers for the financial year.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Quirin.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Le Premier ministre peut-il informer la Chambre si le gouvernement pourrait envisager d'accorder une exonération ou tout le moins un moratoire de 6 mois au lieu d'1 mois comme il l'a mentionné, afin de permettre à ces entreprises de s'acquitter de leur premier versement de la TVA dans des conditions soutenables.
It's going to be very difficult to do that, Madam Speaker, for the reasons I gave early on. We have to be sure that we collect the taxes. We have given an extension. That's what we are sticking to.
Okay, Mr. Duval, you wanted?
Yes. Mr. Prime Minister, whether he will consider exempting those persons who offer services in coaching, sports training, academies, etc. My understanding is that they are subject to payment of VAT whilst they are promoting a healthier living. So could he review at least that aspect to look at promoting healthier lifestyles, exempting those companies and entrepreneurs from payment of VAT?
That's what I was about to say. All services, because you know, the minute we make exceptions, you will see other people will also exceptions. We have to ensure and act responsibly that we do not allow the public debt to increase, and we get what we are supposed to get in the finances of the coffers of the government, so that we can address the issue that Moody's is looking at very carefully.
Okay, next question. Mr. Lubin, I think.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. B1113, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Ports Authority and the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited that representations have been made in writing on the 20th of August and 10th of September 2025, and also verbally on a few occasions by the Mauritius Export Association and the Mauritius Chamber of Commerce and Industry on behalf of the members regarding delays in the delivery of containers, thus impacting on the business community. Such delays occur mainly after adverse weather conditions, during which container handling operations are suspended for safety and security reasons. The operations of the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited are further affected through the shortage of rubber-tied gantry crane operators and insufficient ship-to-shore cranes. The corporation has presently 5 such cranes which are already operating at full capacity. I wish to inform the House that 3 out of the 8 ship-to-shore cranes, having reached the end of their economic useful lives, were removed from our operations since February 2023, and they were not replaced. These factors slow down vessel performance and affect productivity negatively. Owing to these delays, 10 container vessels carrying a total of 4,396 import containers skipped their course at Portly Harbour for the period June to August 2025, and this has repercussions on the local market. These ships have been diverted to other regional ports, and the containers ultimately reached Port Louis with significant delays ranging from 4 to 8 weeks. To address this issue, the Mauritius Ports Authority had a meeting on the 22nd of August 2025 with the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited, the Mauritius Export Association, the Mauritius Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as the shipping lines, to identify and implement remedial actions. Consequently, the situation has improved, with all diverted containers reaching Port Louis, albeit with some delays, but not such long delays. Madam Speaker, to further improve its services, Cargo Handling Corporation Limited has started the training of 32 employees as rubber-tired gantry operators since last month. In addition, the Government of India is providing, free of cost, a cargo handling equipment training simulator for hands-on training. The Government of India would concurrently depute a technical expert for a period of 2 years for the training of operators. Delivery of the simulator is expected by the end of this year. Madam Speaker, in reply to Parliamentary Question B471 at our sitting of the 13th of May 2025, the House was informed that to enhance efficiency and competitiveness, the Cargo Handling Corporation was proceeding with the implementation of its business plan at the cost of 5.3 billion rupees, with acquisition of state-of-the-art equipment, implementation of green initiatives, capacity building, and digitalization of operations. This plan is being implemented in 2 phases, and the first phase, of a period of 2 years, comprises the acquisition of the following cargo handling equipment at the cost of 2.77 billion rupees to be financed by the corporation's own funds. 1, an acquisition of 2 superposed Panamax ship-to-shore cranes. 2, acquisition of 5 hybrid rubber-type gantry cranes. And 3, procurement of 15 tractors and trailers and other associated yard equipment. Action is also being taken by the Central Procurement Board for the floating of international tenders. In regards to the second phase, I wish to inform the House that the Government of India has extended a grant for the acquisition of port equipment by the Cargo Handling Corporation to the tune of 3.3 billion rupees, which would include the procurement of 1 superposed Panamax crane, 8 rubber-tied gantry cranes, and other associated yard equipment. In this context, the Ministry of Finance is in the process of signing a memorandum with the Government of India. As I have stated in the House, Madam Speaker, a total revamping of the port and other infrastructure to support maritime economic activities is being envisaged. In this context, following my state visit to India last September, the Indian authorities have agreed in principle on the strategic side for the redevelopment and restructuring of port in Mauritius.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, Dr. Amir?
B114, please.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that from the 1st of January 2022 to the 28th of November 2025, 806 cases of road traffic accidents due to driving under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs or without holding a valid driving license were reported to the police. Out of those 806 cases, 287 were fatal road accidents, out of which 25 cases concerned driving under the influence of alcohol, 8 cases involved driving under the influence of drugs or intoxicating substances, and 8 cases concerned driving without a driving license. In regards to Part B of the question, I'm informed that 110 vehicles rented as contract cars were involved in road accidents, among which 4 were illegally rented cars. Out of the 110 rented vehicles, 2 were involved in fatal road accidents while driving under the influence of alcohol, and 1 under the influence of drugs or other intoxicating substances. These figures, Madam Speaker, are a stark reminder that reckless and unlawful driving behaviors, be it under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or without a license, continue to claim lives on our roads. Government remains fully committed to reversing that trend through stronger enforcement, enhanced legislation, and smarter technology. In this regard, amendments to the Road Traffic Act is being introduced, in fact, this very evening in the Assembly. The amendments will reinforce deterrence and ensure that our legal framework keeps pace with evolving road safety challenges.
Thank you. Dr. Amir?
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. With regard to the forthcoming legislation for what we call PMQT, may I ask the Honourable Minister whether consideration will be given for those that have resulted in fatalities where there has been drink driving and illegal consumption of drugs, that the very harshest penalties be considered, such as full suspension of their license for life. Thank you.
I think this is already taken care of in the road traffic.
Taken care of, okay.
One more, please.
One more, and then your next question.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I also ask the Honourable Prime Minister whether he will use his good office so that the court system in this country introduce a fast-track system whereby there have been fatalities secondary once again to drug driving or illegal consumption of drugs, so that the chances of being released on bail, which cause so much discomfort to bereaved families, are minimized, and these people are put behind bars at the quickest opportunity that the court can find.
But that
Thank you.
depends on the court.
Yeah, in fact, yes, but I can say that the Attorney General, in fact, is looking at all these measures. There's some opposition to it, I must say, but we are going to go ahead with that. We need to have a fast-track justice wherever there are problems like this. We can't wait for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years.
Okay, interesting. Dr. Amir, your next question.
B1115, thank you.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that 88 suspects have been arrested under the provisional charges since November 2024 to date. In relation to the information regarding charges leveled against each suspect, the Financial Crimes Commission has advised that by virtue of Section 161 of the Financial Crimes Commission Act, no information relating to any investigation can be divulged. As regards Part B1 of the question, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that 8 such suspects needed medical attention and proceeded to private clinics or to public hospitals. I'm tabling the details of the 8 suspects who needed medical attention. Out of the 8 suspects, Madam Speaker, 1 obtained bail whilst under medical care. As regards Part B3 of the question, 3 suspects spent time both in police custody and in private clinics pending their release on bail.
Thank you. Yes? 2 questions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What I'm going to say, the whole House is aware. keeping in mind that the Honourable Prime Minister himself, while he was under vile persecution, he did not at any time attempt to replace prison with luxury confinement, but faced the music and went to Mocha Detention Center. Can I ask the Honourable Prime Minister whether he will consider that a medical unit be made available either in Melrose Clinic or at the FCC, particularly with specialized care in cardiology, because most of them have cardiac issues, to avoid the tactical use of medical conditions to remain in such hospital institutions.
I totally agree with the Honourable Member, and I can tell him, I can tell the House that this, in fact, is being considered by the Attorney General, and we're going to come with legislation addressing this issue.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know I'm taking a lot of time today, but it is my specialty, my expertise.
Don't waste time then.
Will the Honourable Prime Minister use his good office to have advised the Ministry of Health to allow specialists or senior specialists in subspecialty care to visit suspected people who have been suspected that have been conveyed by the FCC or Central CID at public hospital and liaise with them and give them the authority to liaise to provide the best medical attention so that once again, the use of private institutions cannot be used as an attempt to show justice à deux vitesses. Thank you.
Yes, again, I totally agree with the Honourable Member, and we are addressing this issue. We have public hospitals. Why the hell do they have to go to private clinics and stay in comfort? No, this is going to be addressed.
Thank you. I will allow Mr. Jaman last question, and I will give you your supplementary as well.
Thank you, Madam. Question B1116, please.
Madam Speaker, in my reply to B405 on the 6th of May 2025, I informed the House that an amount of 3.55 billion rupees was deposited by government-related entities in Silverbank Limited. This was purposely done to create a misleading enhancement of the bank's balance sheet. The decision to invest so much money in such a dubious bank with no track record was outright incompetence, bordering, I should say, on criminal offense in the exercise of the previous administration duty in safeguarding public funds. So much was invested in Silverbank Limited, despite the then government themselves issuing a circular requesting government-related entities to invest the surplus cash balances into the treasury certificates, which are much safer. They issued the circular, and yet this is what they do with Silverbank. Stealing public money, that's what they were doing. Other date, more than 900 million rupees are still due to these government-related entities. I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius, by virtue of Section 65 of the Banking Act of 2004, appointed Mr. Arvind Singh Gokul as conservator of Silverbank Limited on the 13th of February 2024. And believe it or not, a monthly fee of 3.5 million rupees was payable as conservation fee. Since Mr. Gokul was Director of Advisory Services at Grant Thornton Advisory Services, the monthly fee was payable to the company. As from the 16th of November 2024, the Bank of Mauritius negotiated the fee and it was revised downward to 2.5 million rupees per month. I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that the current management retained the services of Mr. Gokul as it would have been costly to replace him. However, the new management decided that even 2.5 million rupees was too high and reduced it to 1.5 million rupees either from the 18th of December 2024. Due to the substantial delay in finalizing the proposed sale of the Silverbank Limited, the new management of the Bank of Mauritius further reduced the fee to 300,000 rupees per month with effect as on the 1st of February 2025. With regard to Part A1 of the question, I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius has, for the period from 13th of February 2024 to March 2025, has paid a sum of 39.7 million rupees to Grant Thornton Advisory Services with the employer on Mr. Arvind Singh Gokul. As regards to Part A2 of the question, I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius on the 31st of March of this year, Mr. Gokul resigned from Grant Thornton Limited, but the conservation fee of 300,000 rupees per month is now being paid to Vedanta and AA Services, of which the same Mr. Gokul is the sole shareholder and director. An amount of 2.3 million rupees have been paid to Vedanta AA Services from April 2025 to date. With regard to Part A3 of the question, I'm informed that the Bank of Mauritius that no other firm or individual except Mr. Gokul has served as conservator of Silverbank since the 13th of February 2024. As regards to Part B of the question, I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that for the period of February 2024 to 27th of November 2025, only 206.3 million rupees have been recovered out of the total loan portfolio of 8.2 billion rupees of Silverbank Limited. This, Madam Speaker, represents only 2.5% of the total portfolio. This gives us a stark indication as just how toxic the Silverbank loan portfolio is. The toxicity of the loan portfolio was directly exacerbated by the influence of the previous government. I must say to the House that it is a shame that he is still there. But there are reasons that they've given me because of the cost of paying compensation and all those things. But all this will be subject to an inquiry.
Yes, Mr. Jamal? Yes? Time is up. I said I would give him one, but time is already up.